All right, and we are live. So right now we're gonna cover the weekly wrap up. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a second. Wait a second. Hey everybody, thank you for coming out. We got a lot of things going on. And crew me, I just did that live stream last week. And what do you know? He pulls up and he has to abandon the rest of the CARIFTA games. What is going on? But more of that later on. Right now, you're listening to Head and Shoulders ATR, where we cover athletes, performances, and otherwise that are head and shoulders above the rest. And let's get straight into it. Let's get straight into it since we're on the subject right now. And crew me. He went through the semis and everything like that, and in the 100. And I think this is kind of speaking for Jamaica in general. Somebody tell me if I'm wrong. I saw a comment in one of the videos where they were saying, hey, the Jamaican athletes are tired. And Champs was last week, and then you move straight into CARIFTA. And they were saying, hey, the Champs organizers knew when CARIFTA was. They could have moved it a weekend up or something like that. And I kind of got to think, what about the other nations? Don't they have their championships right around the same time? It's the one thing. It's like, hey, on the one hand, you don't want too much time to come in between, and then so they lose their peak. But on the other hand, it's the balance of, okay, they just went through the CARIFTA game trials about 4 weeks ago. Then they had their own pathway to champs leading up to that. Then you got the champs. So you got 1, 2, 3. Champs is 3. And then you got another whole championship, which is CARIFTA. But hey, it happens. Everybody didn't pull up. Alana Reed did not show up to the 100, right? Alana Reed didn't to the 200 semis, but she did show up to the 100, and nothing wrong with that. Did the 4x1 pretty well, but in crew me, I'm feeling for him. I hope it's not super serious because I know he wants to go against Tobago, especially given that he's broken 10 seconds. He wants to get his revenge against him. He celebrated a little early and still ran 9.99. So that's pretty good. What's up, everybody? Kai Love, Carla72. Kai Love, you got me inspired for a new topic. I'm going to say something like this. The bench players. We might have to have something called the bench players. All right. We might have to have something called the bench players here. But we're going to do something different. I'm going to just announce it here. I know some people are going to come later, but if you're watching this on a post recording, the channel is going to change a little bit. I got read up and down about my channel. It was hard to listen to. I was fighting back. But I got read about my channel yesterday, and I was treating it like a hobby. I'm going to approach this. You can even listen to the sound quality, I think. I'll hear it again on that. So we're going to change what we do here. I'm not going to do post-race coverage as much anymore. I promised about CARIFTA, so I'm following through on what I promised. But what I'm going to do is more so analyze the coaches, the background, the training, all the other things there, and also the building of the community as far as, hey, what can we do in life? Because I've kind of mixed that in already, but I haven't had a direction for the channel. So we're going to have that right here. Fireheart, shout out to you. We're going to cover this because I want this channel to be independent of all the events and people to come here knowing that they're going to expect a certain thing. Track and field comes and goes, but this channel is going to be here. So anyway, in Krumi, he kind of ran into that issue. Hey, and it's good that it's not there. You said it's a grade 1. Okay. But yeah, a lot of the athletes are running tired. Let's take that off the screen. Then we got Sha'Carri Richardson. I think I'm going to bring that on the screen right here. To hell with their copyright strikes or whatever like that. Let me make sure this is the correct one. No, that is not there. That's not it either. Here it is. I think this is the one right here. So let's bring this up on the screen. Right here with Nkrumah, if my computer loads up. Okay, I've clicked this multiple times now.
Small, with quick steps, and a...
All right, hold on just a second, everybody. I'm having a couple of technical difficulties right here. All right. Anyway, looks like I can't get that one pulled up fast enough, so it's no point in me pulling it up right now. That's delaying the program. So we move on. So anyway, let's go move on to this. We're going to go back and forth. We're going to cover some of the events at CARIFTA because this is the 50th annual hosted here in Bahamas. I'm going to do most of that, I think, tomorrow. We're going to go over some of it today, but we're going to do most of it tomorrow. Anyway, Sha'Carri Richardson. Yesterday, I really kind of went over her kind of being back and everything right here. But I didn't really go over her doing that 1057, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to watch that. And then I'm going to give my take on it. So here it is. We're going to bring it up. Shout out to Runner Space. Man, they've been around for a while. Making me feel old. They've been around for a hot minute. And let's go right here. Okay. I can't hear anything. Oh, audio going.
Terry in lane 5, Javion Oliver in 6.
Because she had...
And this main grandstand, it is packed. Everyone is on their feet, and they're all staring at lane number 4. Sha'Carri Richardson, middle of the track in the women's 100 meters. And see if she can replicate that fast start she had. It looks like she's well.
All right, I'm going to stop it right here just because, you know, the copyright system. Fair use. This is commentary, guys. I just pushed back against the one last week. They said it was not fair use. I'm going to keep doing it anyway. Until they strike the channel down, forget about it. And I know they're listening to it because it was a manual strike. So anyway, right here, Dennis Mitchell has, and I don't know, Dennis Mitchell, I got some thoughts about him, especially with that drug past and kind of the history and the people, including that agent that's around him. I don't know if that's necessarily... I kind of look at the athletes when they join that camp and kind of look at them a little bit side-eye. I got to be honest. Given his own history, given the history of the athletes, some of the athletes that he's had with him, and then the agent where they got him allegedly recorded offering performance-enhancing drugs and everything like that, I kind of look at them funny. That and TT Terry's in the group, other people in the group, so I'm not making this on Sha'Carri Richardson now. Don't think this is only about her. I'm talking about everybody in the group. What's his name in the 200 is now moved over to the camp. So I'm just like, all right, Kenny. All right, Kenny, what you moving over here for? But hey, you know what? I personally, I don't know if I think he should coach given that history, but you know, everybody has a redemption. But here, right here for Sha'Carri
Richardson, middle of the track in the women's 100 meters. And see if she can replicate.
I noticed already. Y'all notice her start. Now, she did get herself pushed back. She has this thing when you look at her compared to the other athletes. Let's look at this. And let me mute this. I don't know if it'll, the sound will appear there. But right here, she looks like she's going backwards for a second. She's like forward. There she is backwards. And I don't know what that is with her within those first 20, between 20 and 25 meters. It's like she goes backwards. But I think it's her going to her right on the track. Justin Gatlin did that a couple of times. So maybe that's a Mitchell, a Dennis Mitchell type of thing. But she's already got a better start. Because y'all know she's got a horrendous start. She's got a horrendous start. So already looking good. Let's continue this going on. All right. She drove through. She drove through. She's leaving everybody in the dust. Then she's saying, that's effing right, I think. Just trying to read her mouth. But you never know. But right here, this is where she accelerates. And I mean it in the literal excels, not accelerates. She destroys everybody in her ability to just come through and say, hey, no matter how my start was, I'm going to close down. Now, Elaine Thompson-Herah, I think, didn't they say it had a better top end speed to her? So she's got the second best top end speed. Now, Elaine at her best will still be a little bit better than Sha'Carri. But in all honesty, to be fair, Sha'Carri Richardson is second only to Elaine in that one. So let's skip this a little bit. Let's skip this. What do I think about specifically with the 10-5-7? All right, let me take this off the screen. Let's take this off the screen real quick. The 10-5-7, she had a plus 4.1 tailwind. What I think about this is I think that she can do a good 10-7 low at this point. And I think Otto translated that to a flat wind. And you know, most races are not flat. I did the analysis before. That was that year, and before it was between 0.6 to 1.3 tailwind is what you're going to have for most of the races. So she's got a potential to run a 10-6 high. That's not going to be good enough to beat an informed Shelly Ann. But if close enough, will that be able to drag her through? I don't know. Right now, I don't know, because she doesn't perform well under pressure. So this is what I think of that 10-5-7. Great. Congratulations to her. I think this now says she's back. She's back in her 10-7 shape, 10-8 low, at the very least 10-7 something, but is yet to be seen under pressure. I got to keep this in the context. Miramar is a fast, hard track. That's where they go for the fast times. So I think that she's going to have to be able to prove it against a pressured field. And we're not really going to be able to know that until the championships. Any other race here, even if she gets a pressure field, she got Elaine, she got Shelly Ann or something, that's still not going to be big unless it's built up to be big. But right now, she's looking good. I'm very confident. I like that 10-5-7. That's the number 4 all time under any conditions. Wind, no wind, whatever, right? Number 4 all time. Fantastic. I think that's looking in the right direction. This is what we need to see from Sha'Carri Richardson right now. And like I said, I played this for you guys yesterday, that she's getting back into my right mindset. She said some New Year's resolutions. So her as a person, she's gone back into her quiet space. She still says her stuff on Twitter. She still says her stuff online, right? But she's not, I mean, she'll look kind of ridiculous. Even she knows that. She's a person. She's not some other, right? Where people will look at athletes sometimes as celebrities and look at them as different. She's not dumb. So she's not going to just go out and just start trash talking excessively too much on some unnecessary stuff. Now, this might put a little bit of wind behind her sails, which is why I said the trash talk season is back. We need that for track and field because every other sport has it. We need to have a draw and people to bring them out. But she came into her New Year's resolution and she said one of the things she used to do a lot more and she wanted to do this year, and I believe she's probably done this, is read, because that gets her into a space where no matter the problems that are there, no matter the situation, she can kind of just escape and go on an adventure in those stories. And then some of those stories, they have it where she can relate to it and she can achieve that in real life, whatever that story may be. And I think that this year, she might be looking for a new personal best. Right? She might be looking for a new personal best. I'm seeing a 10-6 something in her horizon. That puts her in range to medal. Question, Sha'Carri, if you're listening to this, will you be able to do it under pressure? Because right now, I give a person 2 seasons back. And right now, you haven't performed well under pressure. If I had some advice to give to you, stay in that quiet space. Stay whatever you've been doing. Don't get distracted by any of the thoughts that you might have in. Because sometimes we have defense mechanisms. Sometimes we say something, but it's affecting us. I had the pressure on me yesterday, and I crumbled for the first time in like a decade. Somebody asked me, who coaches this athlete? I couldn't answer, and I knew. I did a whole 20-minute video here. You got to do the same thing. Do not fall under the Asafa Powell syndrome. We know you can run fast. We know you can do well off of the American soil, because some people doubt that you can do it off of the American soil. But you proved it when you went over to Europe before, twice. You've done some, or 3 times. You've done fairly well off of American soil. Maybe it wasn't the times people were looking from you, but you can do it in other places. So if I had this to say to you, that's what I would say. If I was in your camp, I would be telling you, stay in your mindset. If you're going to go out there and trash talk, be prepared for the pushback and don't absorb it. Maybe you want to follow what Shelly Ann does. Right when it comes to championships, turn off that phone. Delete Twitter. Delete Instagram. Delete all of that off the 2 weeks up to that championship. Don't read nothing. And if you need somebody to if you can't help it, you want to go on Twitter, tell your agent to log into Twitter for you and tell him what to say, and don't ask him what they say back. You said, when has she done off the American soil? Remember the race with Brianna Williams, that very same race. Now that was that last season? I'm starting to get the seasons mixed up. Remember Brianna Williams got like 3rd or 4th to last in that race. It's a lot of races she does that in, matter of fact. But she got 3rd or 4th to last. Another one, I think that was the one where she beat Dina Asher Smith and them. It was like raining. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong, because this one is a little bit loose. But she did fairly well. She either got 1st or 2nd. It was the Dina Asher Smith's opening race. It was raining on the track, and y'all know how Dina is. It rains on the track. It's cold. She just destroys everybody. She's used to it in Britain. So give her elements, and she wins. Yeah, that's why I said she might not have ran the times people liked. It don't matter. She's doing well, because all the times ain't necessarily fast. Up until last season, really, or the season before that, when Shelly Ann was doing when she ran 10.6 the first time leading up to Tokyo. Remember a lot of these races, they even said it. I still remember Steve saying it on there. He was like, well, you know, this track isn't a fast one. And then what do you know? Elaine runs a 10.7 on the track when they were expecting 10.8, 10.9, maybe even 11. Typical for that track in, was it Sweden? They thought that was a slow. Then after that, they started saying it's a fast track. They literally, fast track, slow track, just depends on the time. I remember I already went down a breakdown on that. Yeah, Gateshead. There we go. Thank you. So she's done fairly well. She doesn't, to me, her winning every single race, that's immaterial. Her getting up there in that lead pack, and it's very close. If she's 1st or 2nd, that, to me, got to do that. Are you saying caping or capping? That's the one I'm confused with. Are you saying caping or capping? If you saying caping, I'm not caping for it. Y'all know I do a breakdown, but capping, no. The times don't matter. What matter is the head-to-head. Yeah, Hungry. They were calling that track. Thank you. I got to do better with that. That's where I was getting a breakdown too, because a lot of times I can remember it, but I can't recall that. As I've gotten older, for some reason, memory has just evaded me. And I used to remember everything. Even I prided myself with that. So that's something I'm going to try to get better with too. So yeah, Hungry. That, they were calling that a slow track, because in the past, that was a slow time. Now, people running fast on it, they're like, oh, this is a fast track, y'all know. And I'm like, see, y'all change it based on the weather, literally. They didn't expect that to be a fast meet. First, it was the 100, then it was the 100 hurdles, then it was the 110, then it was like the 400, and then it was one race where they expected it to be fast because all the other ones, and then the men's race, it just wasn't adding up. But yeah, Sha'Carri Richardson, I think she's doing well right now. I think she's back. It's safe to say that she's back. Can she do it? The most important thing is, can she do it in a head-to-head matchup? That's why I said, if they all run slow, remember Usain Bolt beat them, and then they were like, are people using performance-enhancing drugs? Is that why the times this year weren't fast? Remember that time? Or when he didn't win and they were saying, hey, you know, the times this year weren't fast. Is that evidence that performance enhancing drugs were used last year? And I'm like, what kind of question is that? Good thing he opened his mouth on that. Because I was like, what? Like, the times don't matter. What matters is the wins. And we need to get away from the times in track and field. That's why the draw here, and that's what I got to figure out with my channel. What's the draw besides just an athlete in an event? We got to have something else. And that's the problem with track and field. Attached to the times, attached to the marks. Instead, attached to the wins, the celebrations, the personalities, those things. So that's what I'm more so looking at. But as far as the time-wise, that's where I see her. So let's move on to our next thing. We got Abby Steiner here. Abby Steiner kind of put in some work. And I want to say that I'm going to bring in that one. Shout out to Runner Space for uploading these videos. Give me just a second because I'm going to bring that one up here. But Abby Steiner she kind of let us know. She kind of let us know that she's here. And she's like, hey, look, I ran 50 plus races last year. But this year, I ran 3. I ran only 3. Now, I think Otto had to take an L last year. Otto had to take an L last year on this one. Because remember, didn't he say that Davis in the final was America's #1 chance? I think he was expecting Abby to kind of flop in the 200 final. Because remember, right before the race, I'm like, man, Steiner has been like outperforming all the Americans consistently the entire year. But he's expecting her, you know, NCAA athletes. Sometimes they're a little tired by the time they go to their 3rd championship because they got their regionals, they got their conference, and then they got the nationals, technically, you know, regionals or whatever in between. But they got the conference and nationals, then they got the USAs, and then they got the world. I think that's what it is. So let's see. Now, here we go. Yeah, because last week people were saying that Gabby Thomas, why I say Abby? Gabby Thomas wasn't running that fast, and I'm like, she got the world lead. We can't expect them to always run like lightning quick times. So that's why I said the time's not important. To me, I'm looking at track, I'm looking at them, who's beating who. And I'm about to mention something here, and I think I might be proven to be correct at some point. It's going to take a while. But let's look at this. So we got Abby right here. Man, now I got Gabby and Abby in my head, and I'm about to be stuttering up with that. But we got Steiner right here. Very interesting that they got this overhead shot. That's very nice, although the resolution wasn't the best. But I like that. My buddy does that at track meets too. Okay, now she's in the home straightaway. She's in her element. She's only slightly ahead of them, really, when you look at it right here. 14.9 seconds, so not too much more in the race. She's pulling away a little bit, and this is when something very interesting happens. And I saw this, correct me if I'm wrong here. Wasn't this individual the same individual that was behind her in the 300? I want y'all to pay attention to Tamari Davis right here. Doesn't she kind of like close up? And maybe it's just the foreshortening and the angle, but something tells me she was kind of closing up on her. Now, Abby did pull away from her, but I'm thinking that Davis might have her number set at some point. If she consistently runs behind her and she gets enough races and experience of getting used to how Abby runs, she might eventually be able to figure out how to beat her. Because Davis, I think she might be a little bit better. I agree with my friend when we were speaking yesterday. She might be a little bit better in a 100 than she is in a 200. I just don't see it all the way there yet. But let's look at this once again. Davis compared to Abby. And I think she's closing up just ever so slightly. She kind of got that really powered through, kind of not the most elegant style when it comes through to her. Oh, Brittany Brown. Okay. They say everybody's got Abby's number this year. Everybody's going to be looking at Abby's back this year. That's what I'm looking at. Everybody's going to be looking at Abby's back, right? So let's see. Let's see. Now, here's the biggest question that I got for Abby, too. Will she perform a little bit better this season? Will she perform a little bit better? They got her with the interview. Man, they always be putting a mic right in front of their faces right after they finish. Man, it's always so funny doing that. But hey, you got to get that live in action stuff right here. But will she do better this season because she's having less races? And to me, whether a person runs 50 like Mike Rogers, man, he's run so many. And I think he have his personal best still running way more than everybody else. Or whether they run the average, which looks to be about 24 races a year, right? Whether they're running 50 or 24 or at the top level, they only run like 12 races or something like that. I don't know, right? Will she do significantly better? And right now, I got her pegged at about a 21.8 low. Is that good enough to get a medal? And she's right around, if she does that. Now, some people have disagreed and said, hey, I see her at 21.5 something. And I'm like, what? 21.5 is a whole other level. Like when Elaine Thompson-Herah, let's put her this way. When Elaine Thompson-Herah was got her personal best, she was already a 21.6 athlete. They forget that she ran against she got a silver at the World Championships. All right? She got a silver at the World Championships and was running the 21.6. So it's not like she had a huge drop in her personal best like Sharika Jackson did. So I'm like 21.5. Where are you getting this from? Now, she could run a 21.5, but that would be outside of stats. And I'm going by stats with Abby Steiner here, right? So if I go by stats, I can see her at a 21.8 something. If we give her the Gabby Thomas treatment where she had that abnormality, where she just had that one thing, like she's like, I'm making the Olympic team now. And I called it. I called the number right. I said, this was a one-off. I've never seen her finish like this in a race. And she's a 21.8. What did she do at Tokyo? 21.8. I see the same thing for Steiner. She's a 21.8 low athlete. If she overperforms, I can see her 21.7 high, but I don't really see too much faster. She'll surprise me if she does 21.7.6 or faster. Anything, really, she'll surprise me going sub 21.8 right now. But if she does a 21.7.6, I will be very surprised. Yeah, so I think it's going to be a question about whether she can medal this year or not. Because Dina Asher-Smith's coming for vengeance. She's like, look, I had too much cramping, literally with her legs and stuff. I had too much cramping. No pun intended about her talking about a period. I thought, and to be honest, I thought that was a little bit different for her to say, a little strange for her to say, since she's competing against other women and they can't really time theirs to a championship either. So for her to bring it up, and then I don't know, the media getting like, yeah, she's talking about this, and I'm like, so what are you gonna do? A regulation where everybody can't compete unless you're not on or something? I don't know. It's just something that happens naturally. You got to deal with it. But for her, I think she's on with vengeance because she was very disappointed with her last championships. And if she's focused and she's prepared, I see her breaking up, and there's not going to be a Jamaican 1, 2, 3. It's going to be a Jamaican 1. After that, there's no guarantees. Shelly Ann, we could say whatever, but I want to see what she does now. Yeah, Dina Asher-Smith was a little high last year. She was going on those interviews, and some of the interviews she was saying stuff. But I'm going to talk about that this year. Like I said, it's not going to be post-race. Let's go over to CARIFTA real quick. Let's cover some of that. In Krumi, we had his race perils and his troubles and everything like that. There could be more to be said. Oh yeah, let's do this. Let's do this. We got the Miramar. We got the Miramar 400 because I did put Shamir Little in this. So to be fair, let me cover that right now. All right, let's cover that right now. Okay, if my mouse will work and it will click. Here we go. Let's cover that right now. All right. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Where is my screen? Here we go. Screen appeared. And there it appeared. Shout out to Sprint Factory right here. We're using that. Fair use, everybody. All right, so we got from the side, the track view. It gets kind of grainy because it's very far. All right, let's push it up a little bit forward. All right. So we saw a little bit right there around the finish and everything like that. Now, I know it's very grainy here. Okay, so here's Shamir. All right, Sharika Jackson's right here. She's kind of getting reeled back in. And now I want to address this to the individual in the comment section and others that keep saying that Sharika Jackson is a better 400-meter athlete than she is in the 200. And now I got to ask, are you smoking? She's not getting beat by the best 400-meter hurdler in the 400. She's getting beat by the 4th or 5th. And sometimes she doesn't make it out of the USA trials, unfortunately. How I do love my Chicagoan. Shout out to Shamir Little at Lindblom High School when I first saw her there when I announced her race. Back when she was 16 or 17. But shout out to her. But now, I don't know if you smoking or you just a fanboy of Sharika Jackson. But as I said, right now, Sharika Jackson is a much better 200 runner than any other event that she competes in. You got number 2 all time compared to, and a gold medal championship record compared to a bronze in the 400. Compared to, she's not in that top list of times, not even in the top 10 of times in the 400. You could say that she's in the top 10 even in the 100, if I'm not mistaken. But in the 400, no. Sharika has not yet built that up. Now, if she gets better and better in the 200 and potentially break that world record, then she could use all of that speed from the 100. Then she could use that strength and speed from the 200 and then just barely get some people in the 400. I think she's going to need that because the way she's looking now, she's going to need that type of strength and speed in order to hang with those other people. Because she's needing to have a whole bunch in reserve. Just because, look at Jeremy Warner. He wasn't the fastest by, he couldn't even break 20 seconds in the 200, yet he was demolishing people in the 400. So just because somebody's much better in the 200 and let's just give her the world record, doesn't even mean that she wins the 400 gold. Forget about the record. Doesn't even mean she wins the 400 gold. You think Shanae Miller-Weibo, after her pregnancy, is just going to come back and just be like, yeah, I don't got it anymore? You think other athletes... Oh, yeah, and by the way, a thing Mo, she said she wants to get the 4 and the 800. So we got a thing Mo coming into this thing. You think a thing Mo's gonna roll over? Stephanie Ann McPherson's gonna roll over? Well, you could argue that she might be able to beat McPherson. But let's do it. Her coach, good. Coach Francis, or the brother. We talk about the brother here, Brother Francis. Yeah, he might be good at producing the athletes, and he did get her to a medal. Eddie did get her to a gold in the 4x4, but let's be real here. She's not the best in the 400 just yet. So I had to address that before I move on. Okay, y'all say she has a lot of potential in the 400, though. If she goes back, she's smashing her personal best. But the 200 is her best event. I want her to do the 2-4 double every other championship. Hey, if she's winning the one, in all honesty, I mean, I don't know. Let me ask y'all this. Do y'all really want her to give up her medaling positions and potential win in the 100 for potential deep field in the 200? I mean, y'all tell me. Maybe correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't. I mean, in the 100, I mean in the 400. What the heck? I'm saying 2, 4. I'm all over the place. Yeah. I don't know. Would you give up your wins and medals and everything? She went from bronze. Remember this. Remember this. She went from bronze to silver in the 100. I think she's eyeing that gold. And she did say she wanted to win. So I don't think if I was her and I'm her coach, yeah, I would want to come back to the 400 later. But I would only go to the 400 maybe as she's getting older and maybe it's harder for her to maintain the speed and maybe she's not necessarily doing a Shelly Ann and getting faster as she's getting older type of thing. Or what other athletes, if she starts to slow down in any significant way, then I'm starting to put her to the 400 and then say, all right, you slowing down in the flat speed. Let's build up your speed endurance and endurance, which is easier to build up for people than speed, and then do that. All right, that's what I would do. So let me do this. The CARIFTA, let's do something. Did y'all see that 1,500 and 3,000 real quick? Did y'all see that? Because that, to me, that U17 race, even Sebastian Coe was talking about that. I really did like that front running. And I'm a play a little bit of it because I know that's not really the crowd here. All right, that's not really the crowd here. Shout out to Sports Max TV for this one. Now, this one might ding me real quick. This one might ding me. Slightly dingy in the 1 and the 4. Yeah, see, before I get to this, yeah, Daphne Skippers, I think, yeah, I can agree that she fell off. I think she did need that. But then you look at somebody like Varholm, and he's been able to keep up his stuff because he went from multi-events and then went to a single event too. So I thought that she needed her strength coming from Daphne's perspective. But, hey, you know, let's look at this. Now, you see this. Everybody else is going over here for a nice old jog, right? They going here for a nice old, hey, we're just competing. We're doing a championship thing. And it was really windy over here in the Bahamas, right? Very, very windy over here in the Bahamas. This man said, nah, I'm going to front run. I'm going to do it on my own. I'm going to take this race. I don't care what's going on. And he's running all on his own. And I really like that. And I would like to see more of this, especially out of the Caribbean nations. Because, let's be real, Black people got it in us to run very fast for very long distances. We've seen it. We've seen it. And I think a lot of times when some of the Black nations and Black areas, it's there in the U.S. too. We'll get a Black guy every once in a while. They'll be like, wow, this is crazy. And I'm like, man, all y'all got to do is just turn on the TV and watch track and field. You see the Africans. They're over here dominating. And occasionally a Black American out of the U.S. doing something. But the Caribbean nations got it in them too. And we just need a dedicated couple of people to take it serious, do the hill work, do that week after week, not just say, oh, you're slow, you need to run this. No, you need to be quick. You need to be quick. And I respect this type of front running. This is the type of runner that I would like to be if I was good enough to do that. And I've done it to myself and died out. So this inspires me to be like, look, I got to dedicate. This is what made me look at the YouTube channel and be like, look, I can't be like the rest of them in the back of the pack. I need to be this dude. I need to be this dude, and I need to be taking this serious. So I just wanted to point this guy out, because y'all know I cover all the events. I cover all the events. I respect that. And then he said he went, and I'm not going to cover the 3,000 on here, but he was definitely by himself in the 3,000, right? He said he was going after the championship record, but then he had like some kind of cramp in his hamstring or something. And then the win. So he said, look, I got the win, you know, so that was good enough. I got the win, so that was good enough. I got the win, so that was good enough. So let's move on. Let's go over to the, so what do y'all think about Alana Reed not showing up for, after she won the 100, what do y'all think about the, Alana Reed not showing up for the 200? Y'all got anything on that one? Because really, they still got the live stream on? Oh yeah, the award ceremony for everything. Because I'm like, man, running events, didn't they finish? Okay, here we go. Let's bring this one up here real quick. Let's bring this up here. Let's bring this up. Because she was kind of a no-show. And like I said, you know, sometimes the athletes, they have what it takes to, you know, no-show. So let's bring up this result here. The U20 girls 100 final. The U20 girls 100 final. And you know what? Going forward, I think I'm going to start trying to incorporate the coaches more. You know what we don't talk about? Because, you know, a lot of these high schools, Heidel and I'm not even going to go there. I'm forgetting the one in the U.S. that always produces good athletes. But these coaches, they deserve some recognition too. And we got to see the background of the environment that they're coming from. You know, athletes change, coaches are there. Okay, she's coming out like a monster already. Coming out like a monster, already getting the field. She doesn't have a lightning start. She does not have a lightning start. Not at all. But she runs with a good motor. And as somebody pointed out before, when I look at her, she kind of does look like a Elaine Thompson hero. She's looking like a little mini Elaine. Do y'all see this too? Now, I see it in her upper body a little bit more on the bottom. I will say this. Now, I can see her dorsiflexing real hard on her feet. I pay attention to everything. Now, I wish they showed us a front view. I think they do in this. Let's see. I think they do show us the front view here because I want to do a breakdown of that. Now, the wind, she was running against a negative 1.0 headwind. So that kind of stunted the time that could have been there. And there we go. Okay, here's something I want to analyze because we got some athletes that do watch this. I'm going to put this in slow motion. So we see this going forward here. Okay, great. Okay, great. Good. We got this going forward here. Let me check something real quick. All right. Now, I think, hold on just a second, guys. Yeah, I think that, yeah, that's true. That it was so many rounds in one day, 3 rounds in one day. You said Tina's baby Shelly. I don't know about Tina being baby Shelly, but I can see a baby Elaine in Alana Reed for sure. I can see a baby Elaine and Alana Reed. Yeah, Kai Love, you spoken that good herb right now with the baby Shelly. Maybe the height or something. I don't see her form there, and I don't see the explosive start either. But the other stuff. But what I will do, let's do this. Let's slow this down so we could do a little bit more of a breakdown right here of this race. So for the people that look for that type of analysis, let's slow this down. Now, let's pay attention. A lot of people do not notice this when you look at the feet of the athletes. And remember, I broke this down with Fred Curley. He improved it the next year. What did he do? Improved his times. Okay. Now, she kind of has this lean to the right. She's got a rightward lean. You can also see it when she lands on the ground. Okay, that's her kind of leaning and kind of following the bends of the track. Let's go very nice and slow. You do not see any wasted motion whatsoever from her. But look at this athlete here. A little bit of wasted motion, matter of fact. Let's do this one more time. You see her landing, no twisting. We might want to slow this down just a bit more. And then I'm going to go back to the coverage of these. No wasted motion. When I say wasted motion, when you land on the ground, what happens with slower athletes and athletes with that can't break certain barriers, with the men it's the 10-second barrier, with the women it's the 11. If you can't do that, most athletes that can't do it, when you land on the ground, what'll happen is, and in the future I'll have my drawing tool. What'll happen is they would land on the ground and then they would twist to the outside. The back of their heel would twist. You don't see that with Alana Reed. Not at all. Pay attention right here. No twist whatsoever. It's just straight up and down. You see a little bit of twist. 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 You see it on her left leg right there. And you can see how far back she is in the field. So that's what you see with athletes that are better. I will argue with you to find that in other athletes. Y'all talking about the mindset and stuff like that. But yeah, so I give y'all that with the too many rounds thing as well as that. The too many rounds. Let's go on to another one. Let's go on here. I don't want to keep us too much longer. So let's look at this. Let's go down on the results. I did break that down. Oh yeah, I do want to shout out to the host nation real quick. Where is that at? The host nation. To the Bahamas. Didn't they take one of the relays? Was that the U17 or the U20? What happened here? Let me pull this up on the screen real quick. I want to make sure, because Jamaica kind of dropped the ball. You can't say they tired on this one. I think it was the U17. And then we're gonna play that in a second, but let's do this here. We're gonna play both 4x1s on the men's side. The women's side was kind of like a trouncing. Oh yeah, you know what? Actually, Fireheart, when you said so sad we didn't get to see Serena versus Reed versus Hodge. We're not doing it now. We're not doing all the topics and stuff now. No, this is a slow burn. When I hurt people's feelings. Okay, when I hurt people's feelings, that's going to be coaches and everything like that. They could come on. They could call in. And matter of fact, I'll open up the Zoom to you all in just a second. If you guys want to contribute, want to say your thoughts, you disagree on something here. Every single day I do a live stream, the phone lines will be open. The Zoom is going to be open. And I addressed that at the beginning, actually, about the bench players. When we talk about the bench players, a.k.a. relay squad, when you on the relay duty, you a bench player. Now, yes, you might be head and shoulders above the rest by definition, but hey, those people in the NBA that are bench players, people still kind of trash talking. So if you get stuck on relay duty, here's a preview, Natasha Williams. And kind of sort of the coach that was coaching that started Titans, Michael Frater. I'm sorry, Frater. You got your silver at the One World Championships, and then you were relegated and beaten down into relay duty. But we're not going to talk about that topic today. We're not going to talk about the topic today. All right? Asafa Powell was on relay duty because he couldn't get a medal in the open. But he finally got himself a medal, so he knocked himself off of relay duty. But we're not gonna talk about relay duty right now. All right. I gave you a preview. I gave you a preview of some of the things we're going to talk about. That's going to be more like the Mondays. So Mondays, we're going to talk about different topics. Sundays, around 6:15. If the CARIFTA wasn't going on, it was going to be 6:15. No matter if it was a regular track meet. If it's just a regular Diamond League, I will be doing it. If it's a championship, I will delay my live streams. But it's going to be 6 to 6:15 every Sunday and Monday. That's what we're doing with our things. Man, Brianna might not even make relay duty. You saying Brianna headed to relay duty? The way it's looking for her? I don't know, y'all. But anyway, let me pull this up right here. Let's pull this up right here. It's the U20 4x1. Now, this isn't the one where... Oh, dude. Dude. They did it. Now, they lucky. They are lucky because he fell out the blocks. Because you know this being somewhere else. Do y'all think they gave the host nation favoritism for leaving them in this race? For the people that saw this already, y'all think they gave them favoritism? Because on any other time, most other championships, that would have been a straight DQ. That would have been a straight DQ at international. Now, if it's the host, if it's only nationals, like they did it with the U.S., they allowed the U.S. to get away with some of that. But when it was World Championship, same thing U.S. was letting them get away with before, they just DQ'd them. All right, set. God. All right. Now, already a good start. Already a good start for Jamaica. Bahamas not too far behind. They're kind of neck and neck. Bahamas gets it off first, but Jamaica's in the lead. It was just the position at the exchange zone. Trinidad and Tobago left in the dust. Now, I'm kind of expecting that one with here. Okay, they about even. Bahamas in the slight lead, actually. Bahamas got the bend in the lead. They're very close. Bahamas in the lead. He takes it. Actually, that was a decent exchange. It wasn't the best exchange. Decent exchange. Looking for Bahamas on this exchange. All right, they got it. He passed it off at the bottom of the big baton. Got it at the top. Man, I got that relay exchange thing beat in my head. And he got it on the outside of this lane. So he got it at a perfect position outside of the lane instead of inside. So they don't risk going on the inside of the lane there. Jamaica did a very quick exchange. I think that was a little bit messier, but it was safer. All right. He's already doing upright. He's leaning backwards, so I think he's doing a Michael Johnson thing. It ain't working for him, though. Because here's the thing. It's not working for him. Do I got this on 2x speed, by the way? No, I don't. Because they looking pretty fast right there. I like how they got this, the camera angle. Now, it ain't working for him. Because look at his... Okay, do you see this right here? Here's the problem with the Bahamian. If you watching this, I want you to learn something right here. You got almost no knee lift whatso freaking ever. Look at the Jamaican athlete to your right. I hope you and your coach analyze this. And then look at you. This is about where you max out or your knee lift. You had this wrapped up in a bag, actually. You had about a 5-meter lead on this guy, and all you got to do is hold him off. If you had better knee lift, you would have had this. He's slightly taller than you, so he's going to have the advantage, but your knee lift is non-freaking existent. And I think his knee lift was non-existent because he was kind of getting tired. But his knee lift ain't there now. Okay, he's got higher knee lift here, but his knee lift... Okay, is it just me or does it look like right here, he's kind of like skipping forward? Like, you could tell he was giving it his all. He was gassed out and burnt. He was gassed out and burnt. Didn't have it. Gave enough time for the anchor for Jamaica to look at him and showboat a little bit. He said they still lost, cheating asses. Yeah, I know. Let me read some of the comments now. You said favoritism were harsh in all other races. They brought them red cards with the quickness. Yeah, I know, right? They were not playing around at this championship, but then The Bahamas fell out the track. They were like, warning. Warning. Yeah, Daly might have been faster, but man, look, with the advantage that they had, you give them about a 5 meter lead on it. Yeah, sure, he's faster. But yeah, you're not gonna change too much, but at least it because I know we have a couple of Bahamian athletes actually that are at the U17 level that have commented on this, so they will see some of this. I don't know if he will see it at the U20, but we got a couple of Bahamian athletes that were watching my channel. You need to lift your knees, sir. You need to lift your knees. Let's bring up the one that was there. Hello to you as well in the comment section. Shout out to everybody here. Smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. If you like this content, we're going to be trying to do something a little bit different here. Let me go over to Sports Max on their other video. I had that saved up on my phone, but I'm not going to go to that. Let's go here to the video. Let's go to the U17 4x1. I want to leave it off there. Then I'm going to go over quick results, and then we're going to do that. But I like to do a little bit more to break down. Oh, yeah, they did show that green card with the quickness. Dang. Man, even he didn't even think it. He thought he messed up. To be honest, he knows the rules. So it's nothing on him. It was the organizers. He knows the rules. He knows it very well. Because he was like, man, I messed up. And he thought it wasn't there. The rest of the athletes were still running. They let them run. They tried to burn their legs out too. They ran over half the bend before they start shooting the gun and calling them back. They tried to give them every advantage they could. And they didn't even give them that much rest either. Because you know you usually give, what, 2-3 minutes rest if you let them run too much of the 100. Because the race is the 100. They did not let them rest. But here's one. Now we're going to have to call out Jamaica for this one. Because this was Jamaica's bag. All right. Starting off pretty good. All right. Jamaica eating everybody up. Trinidad and Tobago actually doing pretty well. That was a horrible exchange for Trinidad and Tobago. Let me just point that out real quick. Look at how much he had to slow down on the dude. He ran up on him. He started off too late. That was a good exchange, but the momentum from one athlete to another just lost. All right, Jamaica eating them up. I don't know what happened to this. Okay, so we had two opposite problems. We had the Trinidadians. Jamaica had a decent exchange right here. Could have been a little better. Jamaica, I've noticed, since the Usain Bolt era, the men's side takes safe exchanges. They just kind of take safe exchanges. This was a run up on them. Trinidad and Tobago ran up on an athlete, lost the momentum. They lost less momentum as Jamaica right here. And the Bahamas had the best exchange out of that. Some of the other athletes that really weren't in contention, they kind of had some fair exchanges. But Trinidad and Tobago should have used, because they were even with Jamaica. When you are a slower team, you need to rely on your exchanges. And quite frankly, I don't think they practiced enough. So, okay, cool. But then we got the opposite problem. What is the third leg thinking? What is he smoking? He takes off too dang early. I don't know what I think matter of fact, not only did he take off early, look at this. Let me try to get the timing here real well. He's already up with the other athlete. Wait a minute. You know there's a stagger, sir? I don't know why. I don't know what his coach was telling him, but there's a stagger. And the stagger is not that huge to the point where y'all were demolishing them. Jamaica's slightly in the lead, not way in the lead, sir. You don't take off that early. So we could definitely see this a third leg thing, and it's not like he's lightning, like a lightning bolt coming in. So he had to stop And yeah, the second leg, he was a little bit upset. But he's cheering on this guy. They allowed the Bahamians to get in the lead. And all he had to do was what the other guy did. See, now this is where you do it. Look, his knee lift is good. He's looking real strong. He's not facing the same type of speed on the anchor leg out of Daly, right? Daly, was that 10 what? 10-1, 10-1-3, 10-1-4 or something like that? Okay, great. But still, you should still be able to, and they weren't even as far in the lead. This Bahamian squad wasn't as far in the lead. See, they put in work. They capitalized on it. They said, look, y'all not about to get a two-peat. Y'all won last year, but you ain't winning this year. This is the 50th annual. The stands went crazy. So I had to shout out the host nation right here. I had to give them the props where the props is due. Man, hopefully they do practice before Worlds. That third leg, he was just going crazy. Hey, Oshia Reds. Hey, smash that, or Oshia Reds, smash that subscribe button and come out here. Subscribe. I'm more concerned about the view count than I am with the subscriber count, but that at least tells me, hey, you know, people decided they liked it at one point. We're not always going to do analysis. We're going to do the personality analysis. But yeah, this was a great competition right here. This is a great competition. I'm enjoying the games. We got my friend watching the triathlon things that happened before. I'm like, dude, you got a whole championship. They lit this one up. Another thing, let me shout out to this stadium real quick. 9 lanes on the track. This was a fantastic stadium from what I can see. Like the track, surface, everything about it. I do like that. Although the Bahamian people, they were like, hey, we got some favoritism here. Hey, look, they trying to play everything they can within the legal limits, right? You know what? I'm looking at them side-eye like that. But the stadium and the facility and the crowd, because, you know, for some of the relays and stuff, or the world relays, the Bahamians weren't really coming out, right? The Bahamians weren't coming out. All right. Okay, cool. Nice to see you, Reds. Fireheart said JA needs to do replays at Diamond Leagues again. Also, choose orders that make sense and watch previous relays at Diamond League. Relays before they pick the order. Yeah. You know what? I gotta say, yeah. I don't know what it is. I don't know why the fastest nation, the USA on the men's side, sometimes they come in as the fastest team sometime, or the second fastest, but they just don't seem to practice. But the women practice. And then the Jamaican men, they seem to do better on the exchanges most of the time, the professionals. But then they can't medal now. It's like they don't have a good enough squad. They ain't got Usain Bolt, they ain't medaling. Johan Blake and the rest of the squad, they ain't adding up right now. 4th and 4th. That's what they did at the last 2 championships. And they didn't even capitalize on the USA not even making the final the one time. You would think, okay, Jamaica, all you got to do is get the stick around. Then they messing up. And I'm like, okay, come on, y'all. And then the USA women, they got better exchanges, and the Jamaican women don't. And it's like, okay, what is going on, y'all? I want to see world records go down. I don't care the nation. I ain't got no favoritism here. I got more favoritism for people I know, I met, and where I've come from. They come from Chicago, shout out to you. I met you before, shout out to you. That's the type of thing I got. Other than that, the nations or something like that, okay, great. I don't really have too much favoritism like that. It's really not that. Now, shout out to Watch Athletics. I think that's going to be the last one we got covering as far as live result or live races. I'm going to experiment here to see if I get copyright stricken. If I don't, I'm going to start showing more race coverage like that. Because, you know, I got to have a reason for people to be coming out, plus my commentary. You say, I have watched you a number of times, enjoy your commentary and knowledge of track and field. Hey, Dina just looks like my ex. I don't necessarily. Okay, I'm gonna do this. Remember the sexy Asher Smith like that? That's not me. That was me kind of pandering to all the people that were shouting out to Dina how good she looked. I got to be honest there. Some of that was that. I've made 3 pander videos on my channel. All the other ones have been expressing my opinions and stuff. I'm not that hype. I'm not that hype over Dina. She just looks like my ex. Okay, great. I'm big up in Dina because a lot of people trash talk her and say, well, she wasn't a real world champion because of the win that she got, and people were not showing up, and Skippers wasn't there, Elaine wasn't there, people injured. Look, world champion, you the best of the people that showed up, and that's all that matters in all honesty. Because history gonna remember the winner. They ain't gonna remember who didn't show up. Right? So that's the thing that I'm gonna give. I gotta be honest. Dina, okay, Dina's there. She looked good. A lot of these athletes look good, but I'm not that hype over Dina. I gotta be honest. I gotta be honest. All right, I just gotta be honest. Same thing with Brianna Williams. A lot of people, I gotta address that. A lot of people, y'all was roasting me for a second. I was laughing at those comments. I like that. Look, and let me open this up real quick. Let me open up the Zoom. You don't have to get on video. It's audio only. We could open up the Zoom here. Whoever wants to do it, I'm going to open it up all the time. I'm going to drop the Zoom link. If you want to come in, you could go ahead. If you don't, that's all fine with me. So let me get the Zoom here. All right. Where we at? All right. Here's the invite link. Right, let's do this. We're gonna have it here, and I got the Zoom link, and I'm gonna drop this in here in the chat. Give me just a second so I can get to my other screen and drop that to you guys. But yeah, the Zoom is now there. I'm getting better at the live streams and trying to multitask. There's the Zoom link. I'm gonna pin the Zoom to the top of the chat. If you want to come in, go ahead. There's the Zoom link right there for anybody that wants to join. But yeah, getting back to this. So Adina Asher Smith or Brianna Williams. Brianna Williams is okay. She looks good. Okay, great. But hey, look, I'm gonna shout out to when people looking good. So hey, if they looking good, they looking good. Now all that to me, they kind of there. I'm not gonna say that. Hey, if she up there and I'm single and somebody else is single and I feel like it, hey, I'm a go toward it, but I'll be lying if I say I wouldn't. But I'm not that hype. I don't fanboy or fangirl over anybody at all. Fanboy, actually. So I'm not that type of person. Nah. I'm trying to find my OBS so I can put this back on the screen. Here we go. All right, getting back to this. Let's go over the results for today. Let's go over this. So we had the day one morning. We're not going to cover every single thing. Normally, y'all know in the past, I've done that. Now, I am not going to do that. I covered a couple of things, but I am going to cover a few of those. We don't have to really cover too much here at all. There was not really anything of a final except for the U17 girls high jump. So we're going to do this real quick. And we're going to do a really quick Asia McKay. Shout out to her. Congratulations on that win. We got that 1.73. And I still got to say, I think I agree a little bit with the champs being so close to the CARIFTA games. But, hey, you know what? Hey, you got to deal with the elements and you got to get over it. Ja'Kyla Morton. She got second. Then we got Shaniqua Williams got third. There you go. As far as that, let's go back to all the results over here. We're going to keep getting this ad blocker up here. Let's see. Wait a minute. Nick like Kimba. Hey, you know what? No, I'm not. Nope, I'm not even gonna say. I'm not even gonna say anything. You know what? That's funny because y'all trying to be like, well, Kimball's dark. He did say he likes some dark people. Look, I have a wide range, but I do lean toward dark. But I was gonna say something on that, but no, no. Okay, where was I at? Where was I at here? We already covered the 1500 boys. Let's go over to the girls. We got Ashlyn Simmons. We didn't have our athletes from oh wait a minute, no, I'm mistaken. This is the wrong race. We got Ashlyn Simmons from Barbados, 451.65. They kind of went out there and did a tactical race, which it's not as exciting when you see tactical races and everything. 1500 is a little bit. If you gonna do a tactical race, I want a tactical race and it's ending in some fireworks. This wasn't a tactical race that ended in fireworks, so it kind of just went there. This is not gonna convince. Oh yeah, I'm a little kid, 5 or 6 years old, watching the CARIFTA games in the Caribbean, and I'm excited to come out and do these distance races. Nope, it's not going to convince anybody. That is not the excitement we need. Not at all. But that one guy running out by himself, yeah. Now, if he broke championship records, now that would have got more of the excitement. But Dina Marie Barbie second, and then Aaron Barr in third. All right. All right, let's move it along. 400. Now, I did want to show those, but we'll be here all night. I ain't trying to show the 400. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over the... Wait a minute. You know what? I lied. We're going to show one more race because I liked how this one happened. I believe it was the U17 girls 400. Let's do this real quick. Let me go over to this. Shoot. It was just there too. And I just pulled it off of the screen. Hopefully it refreshes. Here it is. All right. Now remember, now they did allow, this is one thing I did like the Bahamian host did. They had a 2-section final because the eventual winner showed up late. Yeah, Sebastian Coe was liking everything. I think we will see a lot more stars coming from the Caribbean area. I think the local championships and everything like that are good. I think we have the North American. I think the North American, if there is some kind of generalized championships with that, I think that's the NACAC, North American, Caribbean American Championship. Okay, so this was section 1. She did her thing here. So she ran her 56 something. So she was like, okay, cool. I know that ain't going to hold up just yet. I like that they did that. I like that they allowed a 2-section final to get all the athletes to participate. It's good. I wish they would have done that for Emmanuel. Because, man, he was running like dirt when he showed up late. But, hey, it's the visa process. All right, so let's go over this 400. This is the last one as far as the race, because I really liked how this happened. Set. All right. Decent. We getting Jamaica to come out. I think that's expected. I think everybody is expecting, hey, look, Jamaica dominates the Caribbean area. It's kind of like if you had a North America, if you had a USA, Canada, Mexico championship, you expecting the USA to pretty much dominate in virtually everything. You wouldn't expect Canada or Mexico to do anything, right? So we got our athlete. Pay attention to the outside lane. She starts a move right here. She's way back. And this is what I was talking about with Sharika Jackson. You'd be way faster than somebody. Here she is right here. Is that a St. Kitts and Nevis athlete? Correct me if I'm wrong on the uniform. Or Guyana. Oh, there we go. What the heck? St. Kitts and Nevis is the other athlete. But look at her. Look at this. She's way, way back here. And they kind of doing the thing where they tying up and the wind is hitting them. Like everybody was saying, the wind in that home straightaway. She said, look, I'm skinny. Wind's going straight around me. I'm paper thin. I'm running through it, and I got this. She did not look like she was breaking it down. She timed that just perfect. Our Jamaican athlete over here is breaking down. She's trying to hold it together. She's doing it. And then she's like, nothing happened. She held back just enough. I really like that. I really like that she was able to hold back and then pull that one through. I really do appreciate that drive of somebody. Don't give up. You can still win. Push all the way through. Now I got to wonder who her coach is to give her that strategy. That's what I'm going to have to look up. Who is the coach that gave her that strategy to say, hey, look, you can stay focused? Because that's not something, at least in my opinion, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, that's not something you could just do just out of the whim of anything, right? That's not something you could just do out of the whim of anything. Now here, let's go over some more of the results on day 2. We're going to be back here tomorrow. So come back tomorrow. I think we're going to have it at about 7:30 to 7. I think we might do 7:45 again. Tomorrow, we're going to have a different topic. So Kai Love, we might do a little bit more of the topic I was talking about them relay duty people. But here we go. Let's go over the U17. Let's get the girl's name. I forget her name off the top of my head. Tiana Springer from Guyana, 54-32 with that fantastic late charge to get to the win. Then we got Jody Ann Daly, 54-81. Then we got Deschanel Thomas, 55-54. There we go. And the athlete from the first heat right here, 56-85, Elise Dickinson. So, I mean, she got herself in 5th. She was trying to go for a medal. She didn't quite get it. But, hey, you know, it happens. She put it out. She put it, gave it her all. So, here we go. The U17 boys. All right, ad block thing. Here we go. We got Bromwell from Jamaica, 47-86 with the win. Nikakoy Bromwell, probably pronouncing his name wrong. Jalen Bennett in second, 48-59. Andrew Brown, 48-65. Congratulations to the fellas there at the U17. Then we got the U20 girls final. Okay, Ricky Ann Russell from Jamaica, 51-84. Man, they are running quick. She's running her behind off. Running her behind off with that 51. Javanya Valcourt from the Bahamas in second, 52-12. Then we got LaCarthia Cooper, 53-12. But is it just me, or are the other Caribbean nations starting to really just pick up steam, though? They really are starting to pick up steam. And like I said before, Jamaica's kind of low-key, slowly, I already clicked this one, slowly but surely starting to become stronger in the 400. We'll see how that goes. Then we got the U20 boys. We got Joswana Dennis from Jamaica, 46-43. Delano Kennedy, 46-50. That went down to the line. Amal Glasgow in 47-18. Shout out to them. Congratulations to those top 3. Okay, we really pretty much covered the 100s. Let me see what else I want to... let's still do the shout out there. I did cover this, so let's do this real quick. Jemiah Nabi with the win, 11.67 from the Bahamas, negative 1.0 headwind. Naomi London, 11.72 in second. Alexi Henry, 11.81. Man, they was running into some wind. And I think that's why we didn't see that sub 11. But we're not going to see a sub 11 all the time. It's not like she's super, super deep with Alana Reed into sub 11 territory, right? Then we got Tremaine Todd with the win of the U17 boys. They had a tailwind of 1.1. 10.52 for Jamaica. Ismail Roll in second, 10.62. Ethan Sam in third, 10.71. Like I said, I'm going over just the results here just to give people some of that. But y'all already know the analysis was there. Alana Reed, she kind of trounced the rest of the field. Look at that gap between her and the rest of the field. 0.4 of a second, basically. And it was just no competition. I would have liked to see a tailwind behind her. With the tailwind of 1.1, just like the boys did, just only a few minutes earlier than that, I am confident this would have been 11 low, 10-9 high yet again. But that championship record might have went. But 11.17 for Alana Reed, so congratulations to her. For Jamaica, Alexis James, 11.53. Sana Frederick, 11.65. And then the last event I'm going to really go over right now is the U20 Boys 100. We're going to come back tomorrow. We're going to come back tomorrow because I don't have too much analysis here right now. Devontae Howell, 10.30, 1.9 from the Cayman Islands, if I'm not mistaken. Carlos Brown, 10.38. And then Adam Musgrove, 10.44. But that tailwind, it seems like the guys were getting the tailwind and the girls were running against the headwind. And that's some bad luck for them. Isn't that some bad luck? But yeah, come out tomorrow. We have our general discussion topics typically on Mondays. If you want to see the breakdown, well, we're going to talk about the relay squad, the relay duty people. We're going to talk about the coaches behind the athletes. We're going to talk about the personalities that come in the track and field, and for better or for worse, whether people like Sha'Carri Richardson or not, whether they like her trash talking or not, she is here to stay. Right? We're going to talk about the mental health of the athletes. We got Atara Davis. We're going to talk about the mindset of the athletes. Davis came in and was damn near about to quit. She was going to quit before Tokyo. I remember I mentioned it before, but she put it on a YouTube channel about 4 months ago. She did the whole background of that. I observed that. I listened to it. And as somebody that met her, she don't know me from a can of paint, and announced from her races, spoke to her dad a few times over the years on some things. She was dealing with a lot, parents divorce and all that. I'm going to come with that. And the thing, Mo, is a whole straight up clown when you get her in her element, right? A thing, Mo, is a straight up clown. Not in a bad way, not like clownish, but she's hilarious. Have y'all seen some of her on some of these interviews? Have y'all seen her when she's come through and let her personality shine? A thing, Mo, is hilarious as hell. A little bit awkward in some of the areas. That's her. She kind of got awkward humor in a funny way. Some people got dry humor. I think that's me. I'm kind of like the dry dude. And some people got dark humor. She's kind of got the more awkward style humor. If y'all want to see me do the breakdown of those and how that translates on the track, and a little bit, here's another thing that might rub people the wrong way. The final thing here. We got certain athletes, and I'm not going to call them out by name now, but we going to have certain athletes in the 400. I don't know if he has the strongest mindset, and he didn't show the strongest mindset in Tokyo. If I was a competitor, I would have ate his ass up when he said, I ain't trying to hold up to the greats. When they gave him a softball question, are you trying to be up to the greats like Michael Johnson and so on and so forth for the U.S. And he said, and this is obviously, I've said this now for 2 years. Y'all know this has gotten me. Y'all know this has gotten me when they asked him in the 400 that, and he said, no, I'm not trying to be like them. It's like, what? You ain't trying to be one of the greats? Well, that explains it. That's why he went down to 100. 100 going to be a deep field. Now, is that transition going to do him well? I don't know. But his mindset that he was having on some of these events, I might smell some blood in the water, and we going to do that. Oh, yeah. Oshaya Red said, hi, what happened to Hodges from British Virgin Islands? I missed the details on her. So it just turns out she just was a no-show. I don't know any further details than you. I don't know any further details than you. She turns out, I guess she signed up, and whatever it was between her and her coaches, it could have been. Let me see if I can see anything else real quick at the last minute. But as far as I could tell, there's no mention from that. And eventually, when I get my networking right on here, I'll be giving y'all some sideline information where I just shoot a text and say, "Hey, what happened?" And then they'll get back to me and say this. So I'll shoot a text to the coach or an agent and say, "Hey, what happened?" But right now, I don't have that type of connection. But eventually, that's the plan. But anyway, yeah, like I said, as far as Hodges, she just was a no-show. That would explain it if she is injured. That would explain it if she is injured. Well, I keep saying Hodges, but it's Hodge. I want to get that straight. Yes, you are. You are. Okay, so yeah. So the details on that, you are correct. Thank y'all. I could have did that a real search real quick. She got an ankle injury, and so she had to pull out. So ankle injury isn't the worst thing, but that actually can have a lot on your impact for a sprinter. I've seen some ankle injuries, and then the athlete is not the same for the rest of the season. I don't know what it is. I guess it just depends on how bad it is. I've seen that on 100-meter hurdlers, and then they were still able to compete at top levels. So we just gonna have to see how she recovers from that. But isn't that kind of crazy? Did I not just have that video last week about, hey, look, the potential of these athletes, we never know if they get injured. These young athletes doing well. Hodge she didn't have a race last week or anything that was super major where she had to show up or anything. And then this week, we get 2 injuries. Out of the 3 athletes, the 3 young athletes I covered there, 2 of them winded up getting injured. Now, I don't know if it's the announcer's curse or anything, because we do got that going on. But Nkrumah and Hodge both get injured. That's crazy. That's crazy. But anyway, don't forget, if you're new here, you are coming here for the resource that breaks down and does analysis on the sport of track and field athletics and other sports. We're going to do the breakdowns of their personalities, the coaches, the good, the bad, the ugly, and the beautiful of track and field. If you want to come here and you want to come here with that, where we're going to grow beyond the sport of track and field and then grow track and field with us, smash that subscribe button. Smash the like button. Share this with other people. I notice a lot of people share this on WhatsApp. Don't forget to share it on Signal. Don't forget to share it on everything else. And about 10% of y'all watch this on YouTube TV, on your TV screen. So that's pretty nice. Y'all got me on the TV. You've been watching Head and Shoulders ATR, where we cover athletes, performances, and otherwise that are head and shoulders above the rest. And I thank all of y'all for